Hello dear viewers, I am back with another video on pronouns. This is going to be our part 2 of pronouns, and in this lesson we are going to look at other 4 pronouns. They are relative pronouns, indefinite pronouns, demonstrative pronouns, and intensive pronouns. By this video, we'll be able to put an end to the concept of pronouns, and in the upcoming video, we shall practice the pronouns together. Alright, without wasting time, look at the first category of a pronoun, which is relative pronoun. As you can see here, a relative pronoun links 2 sentences, hence it is called relative conjunction. Now, if we go back to our first video, that is Introduction to Parts of Speech, we have looked at what conjunction is. Well, conjunctions are the words which join the 2 sentences. The relative pronoun also acts like a conjunction, and it helps in linking or joining 2 sentences. Hence, relative pronoun is also called as relative conjunction. A relative pronoun links the antecedent word with the rest of the sentence. Now, antecedent is something which comes first. They are saying that a relative pronoun links the antecedent word, means whatever word comes before the relative pronoun, it is going to link that antecedent word with the rest of the sentence. It might be either a noun or a pronoun. As it relates the antecedent word with the rest of the sentence, it is called relative. Now, why do we call it relative? Because it relates. What does a relative pronoun do? It relates 2 sentences, or we can say it relates the antecedent word with the rest of the sentence. Alright, let us look at an example here. The man who phoned me last night is my teacher. If we look at this sentence carefully, we can write it in 2 ways. The man phoned me last night, he is my teacher. Or we can say there are 2 parts in the sentence. But how can we link the 2 sentences together with the relative pronoun who? Now, this relative pronoun is linking the antecedent word. What is the antecedent word? The man is the antecedent word here, which is a noun. And the rest of the sentence is the further information about this man. Hence, this who is actually linking this antecedent word with the rest of the sentence. Hence, this is a relative pronoun, as it is relating the 2 sentences, or it is relating the antecedent word with the rest of the sentence. I hope you understood what is a relative pronoun. Now, relative pronouns, as you can see here, who, whom, whose, which, that, where, and when. Now we are going to look at when to use each of these relative pronouns. Let us look at the first relative pronoun, who is used to talk about people and only used to talk about the subject. You cannot use who for animals and things. This is only used with people or to replace the name of the person, and the person in the sentence should be the subject of the verb. If we look at the example here, the boy who helped the beggar is my brother. Now, what is the verb in the sentence? Help. This is our main verb. And the subject here is the boy, because he is the one who is helping. He is the subject of the verb helped. And who is the object here? Beggar. We have used who here because the entire sentence is not about the object, but it is about the subject. We are talking about the boy who helped the beggar. Now, the boy is the antecedent word, and the further information, whichever is given, is about the subject. And hence we write the relative pronoun who when you talk about the subject and not object. Without writing the 2 sentences, we can link or join the 2 sentences using the relative pronoun, or in order to avoid the noun, we use the relative pronoun who. I hope you understood when to use who. Now, whom is used to talk about people, only used to talk about the object. Now, who is used to talk about the subject of the verb, but whom is used to talk about the object or the receiver of the action. And whom should also be used with people. You cannot use whom with animals and objects. If I write two sentences again, you helped the girl is my sister. Now these are the two sentences and both are talking about the girl. The girl here in the sentence is the object of the verb helped. You is the subject and the girl is the receiver of the help here. So instead of writing the two sentences about the same object, we are going to join the two sentences and write as one using relative pronoun whom. Let us see how we are going to do that. The girl whom you helped is my sister. Now whom here is a relative pronoun. The girl is not the subject here because the girl is the receiver of the action here. She is the object. Now whom is linking the antecedent word the girl with the rest of the sentence, and the rest of the sentence is giving further information about the same antecedent word the girl. Hence whom here is replacing the object and not the subject. I hope you have understood when to use whom. Now the next relative pronoun is whose. Whose is used to talk about possession of people, animals. Remember, whose is used to talk about the ownership. Here in this sentence, the boy whose pen is stolen is John. Now, whose is a relative pronoun and it is talking about the possession of this boy. Who is the owner of this pen? The boy is the owner. And hence, without repeating the noun once again, without writing the boy is John, the boy's pen is stolen. Now without writing the two sentences, we can link the two using a relative pronoun whose, because here we are talking about a possession, pen. As the boy is the owner of this pen, now this relative pronoun is linking the antecedent word, the boy, with the rest of the sentence. Remember, whose is always used to talk about the possession. Every time you talk about ownership or possession, it's only then you use whose. The dog whose food is being served is a Labrador. Labrador is a breed of the dog. Since we talked about a thing of possession here, we use whose. Now this food belongs to this dog, which is a Labrador. Okay, I hope you have understood when to use whose. Let us look at which now. Which is used with objects and animals. Remember, you cannot use which with people. You cannot say the person which is standing there is my uncle. The girl which is sleeping is my cousin. But you can always use which with objects and animals. Now look at the two sentences here. I gave you a book. Did you like the book? Now the two sentences here are talking about the book, which is a thing here. We can link the two sentences and write it as one without using the noun book again. Let us see how we can do that. We can write, did you like the book which I gave you? Here the relative pronoun which is replacing the noun the book, as book is an object, and in order to avoid the usage of the noun once again, we are using relative pronoun which. I hope you have understood when to use which. It is used with objects and animals. Coming to our next relative pronoun, which is that. That is used with people, animals and objects. That is more common. The man that is eating is my brother. The dog that is under the chair is mine. The pen that's on table is mine. Now, as I said, that is a more general relative pronoun and it can be used to talk about people, things and objects. Look at the examples here. The man that is yelling is my boss. Here the man is person here. And in the second example, the dog that is barking is Tina's. Now the dog here is animal. The pen that you borrowed is mine. Pen is a thing or object. So we have seen that the relative pronoun that can be used with a person, animal and object. Hope you have understood when to use the relative pronoun that. Let us look at other relative pronouns. The next relative pronoun is where. Now where is used to talk about the place. For example, now if I say I want to visit an island, my grandmother was born in that island. Just let me write this down. Now these are the two sentences which are referring to the same place, and that is island. Now instead of writing the two sentences, I want to visit the island, my grandmother was born there, we can link the two sentences and write it as one by using relative pronoun where. What we did here is I want to visit the island where my grandmother was born. You see, where here is talking about the island, and without any sort of repetition of the noun island, we have used relative pronoun where. I hope you have understood when to use where. Where is always used to talk about places. Alright, let us look at our last relative pronoun, when. Here in this sentence, we have used the relative pronoun when to talk about the time. My grandpa remembers a time when radios were popular. So without writing the two sentences like my grandpa remembers a time radios were popular in those times. Now without writing the two sentences, we have linked the two of them by using the simple relative pronoun when. Hope you have understood when to use the relative pronoun when. We use when to talk about the time. I hope you have understood all the relative pronouns. Let us quickly recall each of the relative pronouns. Who is used to talk about people, and it is used to talk about subjects and not objects. Whom is used to talk about people, but it is used to talk only about objects. Whose is used to talk about the possession of people or animals. Which is used with objects as well as animals. Never use which with people. That is more general. It can be used with people, animals as well as objects. Where is used to talk about place, and when is used to talk about time. Let us go to the next category of pronouns, which are indefinite pronouns. Now the word indefinite itself suggests something which is not definite or specific or particular. Now indefinite pronouns talk about non-specific or non-particular things. Let us look at the definition here. These are pronouns which do not refer to any specific person, thing or amount. They are not specific in which noun they replace. They are not particular about which noun they are replacing. These indefinite pronouns can replace anybody, and they are not specific in it. They are not specific in which person, thing or amount they are replacing. These nouns may be singular or plural. Must match the verb in number. So the indefinite pronouns can be singular as well as plural. You have to take care of the verb. Now by this we understand if the indefinite pronoun is singular, we have to make sure that we take singular verb, and if you take the plural indefinite pronouns, the verb should also be plural. Let us look at some of the indefinite pronouns here. Another, anybody, anyone, somebody, someone, anything, something, nothing, nobody, no one. So all these pronouns here are indefinite. They do not refer to any specific person or thing or animal. These are non-specific, hence they are called indefinite pronouns. And all these pronouns are singular. Most of us think that everyone, everything, everybody, these are the pronouns which are plural. We think they refer to a group of people, which is not true. They are singular. Despite the fact they look like plural, they are still singular, and we have to use singular verb with these. For example, everything is, everyone is, everybody is here. We do not say everybody are here, because everybody is singular and not plural. We look at the note here. All singular pronouns take a singular verb. Like I said, all these pronouns here are singular pronouns and they take singular verb. And all the plural pronouns here in this box, both, few, many, others, several, all these are plural pronouns and they take plural verbs. Look at the note 2 here. All any, most, none, and some. These are indefinite pronouns which can be both. They can either be singular or plural depending on the sentence that follows them. Let us look at example here. The indefinite pronoun here is most, and this is singular here because we are talking about the furniture. Furniture is uncountable noun, and there is no plural form for uncountable noun furniture, and hence most here is a singular indefinite pronoun. Now these are those indefinite pronouns: most, any, some, none, all. These can either be singular or plural depending on the sentences. I have written down a few sentences for you to make you understand how these indefinite pronouns can be singular and plural depending on the sentence and how the verb changes. In the first sentence, we have taken indefinite pronoun most. Most of the water is wasted. Now, most here is a singular indefinite pronoun because water is uncountable, and uncountable nouns do not have plural forms. We have used the verb is, and most here is singular indefinite pronoun. In the next sentence, most of the books are boring. Here we have used most as plural indefinite pronoun because books are countable and they are in the plural form here, and the verb has also changed. We have taken are instead of is because it is plural. So hope you have understood how most can be used as singular indefinite pronoun and plural indefinite pronoun depending on the sentence. Coming to the next indefinite pronoun, all. All of the food was delicious. Here all is used as singular indefinite pronoun because food is uncountable, and uncountable nouns, like I said earlier, do not have plural forms. Since this is uncountable, we have taken the verb in singular form, was. In the next sentence, all of the desserts were delicious. Here desserts are countable and they are in plural. Hence all here is used as indefinite plural pronoun, and the plural verb is taken here. In the next sentence, none of the information was useful. None here is taken as singular indefinite pronoun because information is uncountable noun. You cannot count information, and there is no plural form for uncountable nouns. And that is why we have taken singular verb was. In the second sentence, none of the papers were used. None here is taken as plural indefinite pronoun because papers are countable and they are in plural here. We have also taken the plural verb were. Was any of our advice helpful? Now I told you in our previous video that any is used with the questions or in the negative sentences. Now if we want to ask a question, we usually put the helping verb first. So here advice is uncountable noun, hence there is no plural. That is the reason why we have taken a singular verb was, because advice is singular and it is never written in plural, and the indefinite pronoun any is also in singular. In the next sentence, were any of the cookies baked? Any here is taken as a plural indefinite pronoun because cookies are countable and they are in plural. The verb here is also plural. In the next example, some of the news is important. Some here is taken as singular indefinite pronoun because the noun news is uncountable. Despite the fact that it looks like a plural, by seeing S, most of us think this is plural. No, this is singular and uncountable. We have used the verb is. In the last sentence, some of the channels are interesting. Now some is used as plural indefinite pronoun in the last sentence because channels can be counted and they are in plural. And if we look at the verb, we have taken the verb in plural. I hope you have understood what indefinite pronouns are. Demonstrative pronouns. Now what do you understand by the word demonstrate? Demonstrate means to explain something. You may have come across the word demo. Now let us assume that you have bought a washing machine. Now you don't know how to operate it. Now the person from the company comes to your house and he gives the demo about the washing machine, how exactly you have to use. So basically, clear explanation about something is called a demo or demonstration. So the demonstrative pronouns here point to specific things animals and people. Demonstrative pronouns replace the nouns. Instead of using the nouns all the time, we simply use demonstrative pronouns to point or to talk about specific things, animals and people. The demonstrative pronouns are this, that, these, those, such, one. Let us first look at this. The demonstrative pronoun this is used to talk about person, object or animal which is near, used to replace singular noun. Now when to use the demonstrative pronoun this? It is used to talk about either a person, object or animal which is singular and which is near to you. For example, this is my book, this is my cat, etc. Coming to that, now that is also used to talk about person, object or animal which is far. If we take an example, that is my car. Now I'm talking about a single car, but the car is not close to me. It's far. And I point to the car and say, that is my car. Let us look at the other demonstrative pronouns. These. Now, these is used to talk about objects, people, animals which are near. Now, these is used for plural. When there is more than one person, animal or object, you use these. And they have to be closer or near to you. Those is used to talk about objects, people and animals which are far. Those are the dogs that bark every night. Those are the boys who fought yesterday. Okay. Coming to such. Such is used to talk about kind of person, thing or animal. Such a foolish person. Now here such is demonstrating, or it is talking about the kind of the person. Such a foolish person. Such a mistake you have made. I can't forgive you. Such a beautiful cat. Such an amazing pen. Hope you have understood when to use such. Such is used to talk about the kind of person, thing or animal, or it demonstrates the kind. One is used to talk about a particular thing in a group of things. Let us assume that you go to a store and you ask the shopkeeper to give you a pen. Now he asks you which one. There are 10 kinds of pens. Which one do you want? Point at the black pen and say, I don't want these. I want that black one. Let us assume there are 10 different cats. Your friend asks you, is that white cat yours? You say, no, the black one over there is mine. That black one is mine. One is used to talk about a particular person, thing or animal in a group. Now the last category of pronouns is intensive pronouns. Intensive is an adjective. When something is intense or very powerful, then we say it's intensive. Now the intensive pronouns emphasize or they strengthen the subject in a sentence. These pronouns are not necessary to understand the meaning of the sentence. Let me give you an example. I myself went to the store. Now intensive pronouns may appear quite similar to reflexive pronouns because intensive pronouns are also myself, yourself, ourselves, etc. But the difference between intensive pronouns and reflexive pronouns is that intensive pronouns are not necessary to understand the meaning of the sentence. Here if we read the sentence, I myself went to the store. This myself is intensive pronoun because it is intensifying or strengthening or emphasizing the subject I in the sentence. If we remove this myself, it makes the same meaning or it gives the same meaning. We don't have to use intensive pronoun here to understand the meaning of the sentence. Even if we don't use it, it still gives the same meaning. Let us take another example. The CM or the Chief Minister himself visited the house. If we say the Chief Minister, the CM visited the house, it gives a complete sense. You don't have to use the intensive pronoun. These are just used to intensify or emphasize the subject. Even if you don't use this, the meaning of the sentence remains the same. I hope you have understood what intensive pronouns are. By this, we come to an end with the concept of pronouns. In the following video, we are going to practice the same. I hope this video was useful and you have understood the concepts in a clear way. We shall meet again in the next video with some practice exercises. Until then, goodbye and take care.